I see games, I don't know how to see them. I mean, I did hear on all paid enough. I can get sick of I get to go there next year.
Well, nice.
Yeah. This is already here.
Yes, body. Yeah, downstairs. Pretty much, I think. Okay, yeah, probably about that time. Another.
Just recently celebrated 20 years. Yes. How do you sign next? Graduated from the. It's strong. Yeah, yeah. I remember her like that. Yeah, she was really. You did a great job.
Last time, man. Last time. Oh, it's hard to believe. How you doing?
Hey, Chris, how you doing? You know, you just like that. Good. Sing I like it. Thank you. Sing.
You got the help?
More virtual. How you doing?
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned that because I would have been there. I'm glad today because to me, it wears me, especially when you work all day. You know, we used to have just an hour deal. We just got it done. Today, we don't have to.
Yeah.
When we do get to our home, we're going to bring. We can't. Yeah, it's a good picture. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna make sure everybody knows this one. Because there's six, I don't know, there's six here. Where's that live? Underneath.
Oh, no, right here.
next to you. Hold on. I'll show you. I'll have to show it to you. I can't tell you that.
The thing I do for you today. I got it, but it's something work. Everything you put it in the oven, you just mash it out. I don't sure been buying stuff and taking it back over there, like the weather, if you got the other, all that heavy rain. Yep. Yeah, that's. Oh, I do it. We better let's go out here. And then we'll go. And then we'll send everybody. I'm sorry. Sir, how you doing? You guys just, after I get through, you guys just crank in and I'll just speak. Yeah. I mean, I think some people out there might like a different time. The others, I mean, maybe you know, yeah, can't imagine.
You know.
I do that stuff.
Y'all ready?
Yes.
When we get all the retirees, we're gonna put a picture there. All like, well, all of them. Get on up to the close. Yeah, I'll take care of the rest of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Judge, the hall is full out there. There's nothing we can do. There's nowhere to be.
Can't go across the hall.
It's gonna get cold. Once it's warm, because they're having court over there.
And we can't go outside the boat. So, is there any
Just
chairs we can bring?
cross it over.
We're good? Okay. Thank you for being here this morning. I know it's packed out, but we didn't have any options. We can't go to the district courtroom because it's damaged. We can't go across the hall because they're having court over there. So we're gonna leave the door open and we'll get to the retirees pretty fast. We won't be here long for that. And then we'll take a recess. As you know, this is my last one. And ask David Barber if he would lead us in a word of prayer. I know David, he's been here every week, every time we hear, and I believe he may have a direct line straight to heaven.
All right, let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day today and our many blessings. Father, I just thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this meeting this morning. Thank you for everyone that is in attendance, the families that are represented here today. Father, as we begin this meeting this morning, we want to remember Judge Kirkpatrick, Commissioner West, and all the retiring officials here in Van Zandt County. And Father, just thank you for them and their families and their contributions to Van Zandt County. And I also want to pray for the incoming officers, including our new county judge, Andy Reese, as well as our new commissioner, Brandon Barton, and others that will be taking office on January 1st. Father, I just ask that you be with them and their families as they begin a new chapter in their lives coming up soon. Father, I just ask that you be with all of us who will be traveling during this holiday period with the weather situation that's moving in the next few hours. Just ask that you watch over us and keep us safe. And also watch over us as we travel, as we move on to our next destinations after our meeting today. We thank you for the opportunity that we're going to have to be with family and friends over the coming days. But Father, never let us forget what the true meaning of this Christmas season really is, and that is to celebrate the birth of your Son, Jesus Christ. And we thank you for that. Father, I just ask that you be with us as we carry on with our responsibilities each and every day. And I ask that you forgive us of our sins. All this we pray in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
I call to order the Van Zandt County Commissioners Court to order regular session on Wednesday, December the 21st, 2022 at 9:06 a.m. Quorum is established with all members of the court present. Item number 2, discuss and consider dispensing with the reading of the minutes of the meetings of the Commissioners Court and approval of same for November 30th, 2022 and December the 7th, 2022.
So moved.
Got a motion by Commissioner Melton, second by Commissioner West. Any questions or discussion about the minutes, corrections? Being none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 3, discuss and consider approval of county bills for payment as submitted.
So move, Pearson.
Got a motion by Commissioner Pearson. Is there a second? Got a second by Commissioner LaPrade. Any questions about the bills that's been submitted? Being none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 4, discuss and consider ratifying of county bills as submitted.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner West, second by Commissioner Melton. Any questions or discussion about the bills that's been submitted for ratification? Being none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 5, general announcements. Is there any announcements we need to be made aware of? No, is Andy in here?
He's right outside, Judge.
Okay. Have him step in here. I know he's got an announcement. Andy, would you like to make an announcement about the swearing in?
Yes, the swearing in will be held on January the 1st at Lakeside Baptist Church at 2 p.m. And a reception will follow immediately after.
Okay. And I think all of them's gonna be there. The 16 of them
Swearing, yeah.
be sworn in and told Christie, whatever bond you get, make sure you get Andy's approved. Yeah, get his and get me out. And but okay, thank you, Andy. So the swearing in ceremony, January the 1st. Any other announcements need to be made? That we need to be made aware of? I will make after we do the presentation of the retirees, there will be a reception. The auditor's office has put refreshments and stuff together downstairs. Thank you to the auditor's office for doing that. We invite all the family and stuff to have some cake, punch, just time to visit. We'll take a 30-minute recess after we do the presentations, just for the family and everything, pictures, whatever you want to do. Any other announcements? Being none, we'll move to item number 6, public comments. Any public comments, Scott? Susan?
No, sir.
Okay, no public comments. That'll move us to item number 7, presentation of Van Zandt County Retirees Awards. Virgil?
Okay, commissioners, if you would all stand, please. Judge, would you stand? Judge, it's an honor for the commissioners of this court to present you with this award in appreciation for 20 years of public service to Van Zandt County. 12 as a justice of the peace of precinct 1, and 8 years as the county county court judge of this Van Zandt County. We'll go ahead and give this to you. This is from the commissioners. And I think all the commissioners wanted to say a few things. I just want to say a few things that we've had a harmonious court since you've been here. That doesn't mean that we've all agreed. That we've had disagreements, but that's the way government works. But when we bless this court, we've all remained friends. And that's what's important. So you've truly been a public servant, a servant to this county. And I just want to say thank you for your service. And then I'm gonna let the other commissioners speak in.
Thank you.
Well, he was saying that we didn't always agree, and sometimes we didn't, and I've told Don this before, sometimes he's wrong. But other than that, it has been a real pleasure for me to work with Don. These 8 years, we've had many meals together, and it's really become a good friendship, and I hope we continue as long as we're around, even when we get out of here.
Oh, absolutely.
Don, it's been a long 6 years. For me. I can only imagine how long it's been on 10 and verse. Don told me not long after I joined this court here that between the 4 commissioners and his admin, he had a headache every day. Every day of the week. So I ask that you give that bottle of Advil, whatever's left that I gave you, would you pass it on to Andy?
He'll need it.
He'll need it. He'll need it. Now, I want to tell you, thank you for your friendship. Thank you for all you've done for Van Zandt County. Thank you for your servant's heart. And we'll be calling on you. We've got lots of special things lined up for you. Special duties. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don, I want to say thank you very much. You've been very good mentor to me breaking out in politics for the first time, and I really appreciate it. It's been very helpful. And being from both from the Grand Sling area, I've known of you about it. You didn't know you'd come out, and it's really been an honor to get to know you and learn from you. And I just want to say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. It's been an honor to serve with you guys. It's been an honor to serve for Van Zandt County. Y'all know my dad told me when I told him, I said, Dad, I'm thinking about running for county judge. He said, oh, Don, don't do it. He said, they're out of control. They've been out of control. You can't fix it. We fixed it. But there's sometimes I've sat in my office over the last 8 years and thought, I don't care how old you get, y'all listen to your dad. Y'all always listen, they're always up dads are always trying to protect you. But it's been an honor to serve Van Zandt County. I didn't come in with a lot of agenda. My goals was to turn the county around. In my opinion, they were out of control. The spending, the indebtedness, the raising of taxes, and we fixed that. We fixed it. And so thank you guys for putting up with me for 8 years. Been a privilege and honor every decision. I've told these guys, don't walk in that courtroom and agree with me. Walk in the courtroom and vote the way you believe is what's best for the citizens of Van Zandt County. That's who we represent. It's not about us. Listen, if it was about us, we wouldn't be here. And but it's been a privilege to serve you guys. And what an honor. Thank you for entrusting in me to lead this county. Thank you.
So I'd like to open it up for just a few minutes. If anyone would like to speak, go ahead. Judge will give you 3 minutes.
Thank you, God. Thank y'all. Thank you for being silent. But it has been an honor and a privilege, and we got quite a few others to go. Thank y'all. So Tim West, when I first come in, I was here 6 months, and then Tim come in. And Tim said, the last thing I need to do to run for a county position. Tim was retired, wanted to come in, didn't come in with a personal agenda, come in just to help Van Zandt County. And he's been a blessing, a mentor to me. Tim's the calm one. We've had some different opinions, even at the while we was having lunch. And I remember telling Tim one time, he said, well, you made a bad mistake today. I said, you can't tell me that today. I said, we made a decision, and at the end of it, if it don't turn out the way I believe it will, then I'll admit I made a mistake, but I was right. Tim will never admit that I was right. And Tim will never admit that he's wrong if you're disagreeing with him. But he is a great friend. Tim, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve with you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Same
We
here.
have developed just a wonderful relationship, and it's been a fun ride. But thank you for your service to Van Zandt County and your contribution to making this a better county. These envelopes are empty. We didn't have the money to pay you, Tim.
Oh.
So, but you can take that as a token.
Okay.
As my last gift to you. It's an empty envelope. But thank you.
And got a lot better.
Is there anybody anyone?
Well,
Thanks, Tim's
I'll
family.
say this. If you want to know where the food special here in Canton is.
That's true. Oh, my. Yeah, that's true. And, but it has been a honor and a privilege. You're correct. One of my favorite memories was he ordered a salad, and then he asked for some crackers, and they were going to charge him for the crackers. He said, 75 cents. That's right. I don't know if we've been back. But yeah, yeah. Thank you, Tim. Thank you.
Tim, thank you so much. That's another unique position I've been in, sandwiched between you two for 6 years. But I do appreciate what you've done for Van Zandt.
Thank you, sir. Bobby Colosino, if you want to come up, we're gonna get a group picture when we get through with all these. Bobby came in and I got to know Bobby. Bobby was here when I came in as a JP. Bobby has served for 27 years in the Juvenile Justice Department here in Van Zandt County. We're gonna have a big retirement deal at the Juvenile Center tomorrow from 10 to 12. Everybody's welcome. There's gonna be directors from all over the state and maybe other states that come in. Bobby, there's no way you can describe all the hats he wears. But Bobby, thank you for the service that you have given Van Zandt County. Bobby's one of them positions, he was ready to go about a couple of years ago. And I said, Bobby, hang with me. Hang with me. We're gonna make it. We'll get through this. And you hung with me. Thank you, Bobby, for your service to Van Zandt County. Bobby was the one that wrote for the grant. We went up against Smith County and other counties for this juvenile center. And Bobby went to bat for Van Zandt County, and we got the juvenile center here in Van Zandt County, which is a tremendous asset. You've got a great staff. They're here to support you. You've got a great staff. You do a great job for Van Zandt County and the juveniles of Van Zandt County. I've told Bobby, man, you go a lot further with them juveniles than I would go. and sometimes, but it hadn't always been easy. But thank you, Bobby, for your service. Is there anybody from his department would like to speak? No. Okay. Yeah, it'll be a big day tomorrow over there. So Bobby, here's you an empty envelope. We do have a check with the checks and the checks. I don't always agree. They chose $200. You could either get a plaque or $200. And so we're going to vote. They told me, said, you can't have the money till it's approved in court. Can we not put the $200 check in there and ratify it? And so we do have your check. We'll present that tomorrow at that, but hang around for your picture with everybody. Thank you for, does anyone here want to say anything? It's open to everyone.
Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Sure have enjoyed working with you.
It's been an honor. And hopefully we've made a difference in the lives of some families and some children in Van Zandt County. I know we're in a good spot. And of course, my staff, the leadership of the juvenile board, the commissioners board, the whole community has just embraced the whole center, and it's been an honor.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob.
Not only does Bobby wear a lot of hats when that COVID stuff is going on, he come over every week with a different big, huge band.
Thank you, Bobby. Okay. Bonnie LaPrea. Bonnie is our compliance officer. We have an in-house collections. If you owe fines and fees, Bonnie's the one gonna call, tell you owe some money, and then she's in contact with the judges. She reminds the judges, these people are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. What would you like to do with them? and some of them go back to jail, some of them pay. But Bonnie worked for me as a clerk over in Grand Saline for several years, 8 years, and then came over here for 6.5, and does a great job. Bonnie is one of those type employees. You don't have to worry about her. She's going to show up for work. She's going to be working, and you don't have to sit and watch and make sure she's doing her job. She does her job, and she does it well. And thank you, Bonnie, for serving Van Zandt County. Bonnie actually thought we was retiring a year ago.
It's been a long year.
But last year she said, well, we getting ready to go. I said, no, we have another year. She said, you got to be joking. She said, I said I would stay until you leave. But she said, you mean we've got to stay another year? Yeah, and it has been a long year. But thank you for your service to Van Zandt County. That's one of those jobs. I do think it makes a difference. The collections and stuff, if you don't have someone actively working the debt that these people owe, then it's easy to forget about it. But thank you, Bonnie, for all your service. You get a.
Hey, Bonnie, how many days? How many days?
Well, I'm gonna count my only work days, so
Yeah.
there's 5.
Timothy Neal, Sammy Garner, and Eddie Wood. Not here. Those are employees of Precinct 4 Road and Bridge. They're not present. But I think when I come in, it's not about one individual. It's about all of us working together. I come in, I've told everyone, my clerks will tell you, I'm nothing special. Only by the grace of God am I on this side of the bench. Life, you look at people. I've dealt with juveniles. I chair the juvenile board, and you deal with juveniles that you look at their situation and you think, how did they get to this point? I thank God that He has given me the opportunity, and each one of y'all, I thank God for each one of y'all for serving with us, for being here. It's getting worse. Anything you do, you can read on Facebook. Anything you don't do, you can read on Facebook. And if they don't have any of that, they'll make something up and put on Facebook. And you read it and you forget we're elected officials doing the best we can. Thank God for the opportunity to serve. I know y'all do. Me and Chris, we've prayed together. Chris, thank you for being a mentor to me. Thank you, sir. Josh Winters, been a mentor. It's not about any individual, it's about us as a group. And I think God put a good group together to lead this county. And my prayer was always, God, we want your will, not my will. I want to serve you. It's not about what I want. It's about what you want for Van Zandt County. Guys, the United States is under attack. And we're headed in my opinion, a bad direction. And I hope, and my prayer is that we've made a difference, that every one of us here has made a difference. And we thank God for that opportunity. Anything else from anybody?
Well, then I want to say, such an honor. And
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. Anything else? Don't want to cut anybody out.
I'd like to say, thank you for your service. Both you got everybody who's retired, you guys especially. I guess we've been to lunch about 50 times.
Yeah.
I bought my own lunch 50 times. Tim does go over the bill and make sure that we all pay the right amount. I will miss that. I'll miss those times, but I'll continue it. And I do know, I can say with 100% certainty that, like Burgess said, these guys are servants. They're not politicians. They ran to serve the people of Van Zandt County. And I believe they're doing a great job of doing so. Miss you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Okay. Okay.
this has been a journey for me. You guys stand there, I stayed years. My father helped build this building. But it wasn't until all of y'all came together that I felt like this building was part of me. it was to replace I had that was very important to me.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I want to say thank you to Tim. I didn't get to speak one ago. He jumped the Bobby ahead of me. I want to say thank you to Tim. The names of his retirees you read off. When I first come into office, Tim and them, they helped us a lot. The judge talked about teamwork and working together. It's not my office and your office, it's a county. And they helped me a lot with maintaining equipment and showing us how to operate stuff. Tim helped me a lot with learning the financial end of the county, and I just want to say thank you.
Thank you, sir. And they're telling me we missed two. Kathy Northcott. Kathy has served for 30 years. 30 years, Van Zandt County. I don't have an envelope for Kathy.
I have my flag already.
Okay, okay,
And Judge, I got an empty envelope upstairs.
okay, yeah.
I can't capture it till after anywhere.
Right. She had a retirement reception at JP2 and 3. Sorry. And I was sick when you did it, but then I came up, and Kathy, when I went in as JP, Kathy was already working up there. You mentored me as a new JP. Judge Wilcoxon, the day I was sworn in, she told me 2 things. She said, baby judge, she said, you can't make people do the right thing, and you can't go backwards, you can only go forward. But you was working for Judge Wilcoxon. Thank you, Kathy, for what you did for me. Thank you for your service here in Van Zandt County. You're one of those, we never hear you complain.
You just out here, man.
We never hear you complain. You're always, he wouldn't agree with that. But it's been an honor and a privilege to serve with you for my 20 years. You was here 10 years before I got here. And but
Sheriff's Department.
yeah, before, and that was before my time. But thank you for training me. Thank you for helping me. And thank you for your service to Van Zandt County. And if Judge has got an empty envelope, if you need one. Yeah.
Kathy, I'd like to also echo that and tell you thank you. I've been in Wills Point since 1980, and I know you haven't been there that long, but just for forever, you go into JP3 and you see Kathy, and she's always nice and always got a smile, and the way you treat the people, I really appreciate the way you treat the citizens of Precinct 3.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then Judge Plaster. Judge, if you want to come. We presented this plaque the other day, but this is your plaque. Presented to the Honorable Judge Sandra D. Plaster in appreciation for 13 years of outstanding and dedicated service to Van Zandt County Justice of the Peace Precinct 2. May the 11th to 2009 to 31st 2022. Judge, you came in as a JP to fill Judge Daniel's position unexpired, and was appointed, then ran and was elected. It's been an honor and a privilege to serve with you. My mother, bless her heart, we've lost her now, but she never could remember Sandra's name. She would just say, how's that girl that smiles all the time? So thank you for your service. Thank you for everything you've done for Van Zandt County. You filled the position, and we want to present this plaque to you in honor of your service, and thank you. Now, if all the retirees will come up, we'll get a group picture of everyone together. And y'all stand up there behind us if you want to.
Yeah, everybody.
What do you want to do?
We're going into
We're gonna go down there.
You can, or y'all just.
Y'all stand here, yeah.
Behind us and support.
Well, yeah, we're gonna support you. Come on in here.
Okay, get y'all with this direction. One more. Thank you.
We will now read that. We'll now take about a 30-minute recess for Kate and Tom and down to the high school. Make sure and stay around. You guys have been, it's been fun. It has been.
Got your name on. That was a heck of a discussion too.
Y'all all right?
Y'all ready, people, get out.
Doing all right, sir?
What's your name today? We get done here, we'll like the video. Well, all the rest of it, go trick them with Christmas dinner. Then I'm gonna go down A, B.
Oh, my goodness, you know, we had to let this. Yes.
Three generators. Ready to go. If anything else good, and they want to, something happens to them, they want to read up some deep upon it, they can get information, to get the. His prayer.
You need.
We just stay represent. Good evening, my group is. And a happy person.
I'm doing good. You're always gonna be against the dad, but. I'll be money. Been 20 years. 20 years, and 21 years. I know you're supposed to be back in love with this three cities.
Well, I know you gotta make them. Well,
Yeah, it's not, it's not bad, you know, just that, right? Everybody used to know there was a town, just liberal, down, is Rivers. River Grants, down. And his grandson, everybody knows him, what knows me. That's a good question, because. In Mark, in Maryland. Yeah. He was. What? You can make a very hard. Look at the doors. All right, thank you. And this is what. It's funny, we'll leave it up here.
Yeah, I'm clear, you got it in front of you. No.
But.
Yeah, you have a lot. That's,
What's your meeting? What's?
We didn't have one.
We do a lot of meetings like that.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It was the it's like all this time working out to it. Thank you guys. But this is how it is. One of that big thing I'm on, she was stressed. You know. I didn't want to, I got, you know, I was running. And I never. And he's gone, I don't know that has to be the boss right here. You know, I should, I don't want to. Let's say. Not cross. Not very fast, but so that's not as we're gonna shoot. Maybe that. So he changed the thing last month. So Eddie called him last time, so the cops and we're all gonna see, they're gonna have on hands. And he's gone to the plaintiff's court.
We'll go get something short to you right quick.
I'm sorry, sir.
Want to go get something short to you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, I gotta go to the line and. And this. So I'll do. One of the.
We got these games.
Yeah. Well, I was doing all that. I thought it was.
My goodness, that's a good looking group.
Myself.
Yeah.
Mike,
Yeah,
and Richard Gray.
that's great.
So I wish there was some way we could make this a historical kind of deal, but and that old Jeep, you know, I don't know how to do it.
Right. Right. It's a good looking group.
Still on. I'm still-
And myself, and
I mean, I know that we're.
you were.
Okay, that's good. So I was there, it's off to the state.
Yeah,
It's pretty good. I want to watch man for when it's great. It was. I just want,
yeah,
it was one with your policy.
yeah.
And the takers went from. So they, you know, they work more for the
Right.
art and nothing.
That's all right. This will be just fine.
No, that's.
I'm gonna eat. Just hope I don't have any smeared on my other side. Thank you, Luann.
Probably not really well.
Is she in?
96. They're on hospice such way. Son's mother-in-law is not doing well at all, either she can diagnose it or dementia. You know, she already had plenty of money, never worked. You know, hair every week, nails every week, pedicure, never worked a day in her life. Her daughter. Yeah. Now,
Sir?
You're running.
Yeah. Mhm. Are you good? Yeah.
Are you wondering how to do it?
Yeah, I have.
I read a lot of that stuff. Yeah, I got your pictures on it. I didn't know you know that thing. You know, I went to the Harvard Technology Day.
Yeah.
I went down from this to the level of went down to the lane. I went to the. I had been there when you called.
Well, one of the reasons we lost because we had about 8 or 9 starters out. We was sick. I was out.
Well, yeah, I heard her say it.
I had pneumonia. So I couldn't play. David Miller got a scholarship. Barry Burridge, I think he got a scholarship. But I think that was that it? I can't remember who else. I think Mike Chandler, they offered him a scholarship, and he didn't. He didn't want it. Right. Yeah. No.
I mean, dance, you know, got all day. Well, this year after this week, I don't know. On Monday, they have the physical scattering press. Still got a hundred and fifty number of days. And that's what that is. Yeah. When I went out and.
See now, standing there, let's see. Going like crazy, but it's been wasting all these programs, school activities and stuff. And now it's seniors now. Holidays, it's kind of. And it's all down a little bit. This is the only meeting I'm going to tell you this week. But I think this advice on my way, and cover anywhere for the rest of the year. You're gonna let that cross out. Oh, yeah. We'll be able to run up things and use this weekend, surely. And, we're running all our year-end reviews in our high school next week. So. In fact, I just finished yesterday. Anything here. I'm gonna tell you, that's a trouble. I'm trying to come up with a top 10 list on slayers for the year. I had it at 18 at one point, so I had to cut down from 18 to 10. That was a little bit of trouble. And let's photograph.
I don't need any comments. Yeah. Skip the. Skip the whole meeting for later. What's that?
No, I attended one semester of Henderson County Junior College. No, in Athens. Pretty good. How about you? Good. Okay. Yeah. Well, you had cataracts, I guess. Yeah, well. You know, when you get old, that's what happened. I'm gonna have, my doctor said, well, you're really not ready yet. You know, every time I go, say, well, you're really not ready yet. But, you know, eventually, you know.
Well, this one, he said,
It was so bad. Yeah,
so he's done now still this week.
yeah.
Now we're time now.
Yeah. Not bad, yeah. Retire. Good question. Man. Yeah.
This is now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Other stations.
Right. Yeah. Well, I guess that's a good thing, you know?
35 years of doing this since getting to be an old.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm good. How's your wife?
Good, good. Teaching, she doesn't miss a day. Bye, good to see you. Miss you.
I hate the.
I agree with Don on this. See, give him a check, man. We've done it before. The thing he didn't want to do it now. Oh, good. Well, we can ratify them, you can have them and then ratify them.
Send them after the utilities there.
That's right.
It's one of the university.
They've done it before in Paris, they get some shit.
They said it's good. You're looking at it for
Good. It is. So what is going to inspire you? What is they're trying to come top? Well, so I was on cut them off. Okay, good. Yeah.
They made it. It's not a real issue on the neighbor. It's working on it. I think that you're.
Right.
Somebody.
Right. What's going to happen now that all the police six of us? Yes. You talked to Sam about what you're doing? Sam?
Oh, yeah. It's really installed.
Yeah.
Tell you something.
Yes. Didn't know that.
They got me on a piece of land.
Yeah. Yeah. I hate that. Yeah. Always do. Yeah. Yeah, I hate it. I couldn't, you know, we're. Opposed to it. They didn't get involved. Yeah. And that's what it is. They'll sell there. Yeah. Thank you. Keep me posted on it. I haven't seen any, your post here recently. So keep me posted. Well, give me an email.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
I do appreciate everything. I'm thinking over like a great theory and get involved.
And we're all, there's a group of us across the state where we're going back down the last this year. Hopefully get some things have. Y'all have one more difficult, but.
Yeah.
Plan on.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. Balancing.
Right.
Awesome.
Okay, thank you.
I need
The other.
Good job, so.
Need to get a job. Oh, my goodness.
He got some on the agenda, he can get paid off.
Oh, well, I'm saying,
You know what I'm saying?
it's a different situation.
That's what he
Get
said,
something you want to do here and there.
and he doesn't have to drive to Dallas.
Yeah, but it's different than him to get up there.
I hate protein out.
Well, so sitting in my fire car.
Into jail.
I like to have a little money in my pocket, other than. Like you said, if you said.
Yep.
While you're. You know, I know a guy.
You're going to tell your grandson, no,
He was working, some job, like. He saw he wanted.
like I said, they probably not treat it today.
No, I shouldn't.
Give me a little side, you know. What he's talking about.
Yeah.
Say it. Sign something. Picture or whatever. That's what he did. He got into that, he was wrong. Now he, all the time, he. Hey, Don. He just started out pretty.
I guess they'll get them always the printed today, I don't know.
Like to go hunt. I think you've been hunting, could be over that next week.
We on, Scott? Yes, sir. Susan?
Yeah.
Okay. That will conclude the recess for the retirees. We will now enter back into the regular session of Van Zandt County Commissioners Court on Wednesday, December the 21st, 2022 at 10:02 a.m. Quorum is established with all members of the court still present. We will Sandy, we will enter item number 9, discuss, consider, and approve engagement letter for Patillo, Brown and Hill LLP to audit the financial statements of Van Zandt County for the fiscal year ending 2022. We got the engagement letter. You have the engagement letter before you. Is there any questions?
I think they've been doing this good job.
Yeah.
Since we got.
I think we're Ms. Hill, we're pleased with their service. Audit and everything.
Motion to approve the engagement letter.
Okay, got a motion by Commissioner Melton, second by Commissioner LaPrade. Any questions or discussion? Being none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 10, discuss and consider jury donation for prosecutor victim services. Our Van Zandt County District Attorney's present, Tonda Curry. Tonda, you may address the court.
Thank you, Judge. This is, I'm sure you're aware that when jurors come for jury service, whether it's jury selection the first day or service the following days, if they are selected, they get paid for that. They have an option of keeping their pay or donating their pay to certain approved charities. And there is a list that we already have for the county that lists those charities. Recently, Melissa, my victim assistance coordinator, learned at a seminar she was at that we can add victim services to that list of charities. And that money, should jurors choose that, and if they elect to donate, they also choose among the different charities that are listed there on the form. If they elect victim services, then that would go into a separate fund or a separate line item, actually, that we could then use to help pay to bring victims, only victims, to court. A lot of times we have out-of-town victims. Gas is an issue, hotel is an issue, those kind of things. So it's money that would be donated by jurors into a line item that we could then use only for victim expenses related to coming and testifying in court. So we're just asking, we have to have Commissioner's Court approval to add victim services to that list of charities that jurors may choose to donate to if they so elect.
Any questions for Tonda? Just, well, how are you gonna just list it like victim services and how they can? That's kind of vague, isn't it?
There's actually a description that's on there, like I know that the Children's Advocacy Center is one of the listed charities. There are several others, I can't recall them now off my head. But it would be victim services fund for court expenses, some type of description of that.
Any other questions? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Got a motion by Commissioner West, is there a second by Commissioner Pearson? Any other questions or discussion? Being none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you, Tonda.
Thank you.
Item number 11, discuss and consider plat subdivision on Van Zandt County Road 3826 by the Tara Wolf.
Yes, sir, that's mine.
Okay.
Is there anyone here that represents this? What this is, and we've done in the past, the Wolves have approximately 10 acres of land. There's a house on it. They are selling the house and 1 acre of land. They're keeping the 9 acres. And so it's all existing, 911 address, electricity's there, water's there. It fronts on the road. So I'm here to ask the court if they would do a variance on the plating. And Ms. Wolf has paid the first $500 application fee to get this started. And I'm asking that we would waive the plating and waive the $500 approval fee. And that's my motion.
Is that a motion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, got a motion by Commissioner Pearson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner LaPrade. Any questions or discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Don, one other comment that I want in the minutes is that we're not, Van Zandt County is not responsible in any way if there's, they've looked at the sewer system. And the best I can tell, none of the sewer system or anything goes from the, what they're selling on to what they're keeping. But if there is a mistake in that area, that's something that is not a responsibility of the county. I wanted that recorded. Ms. Curry and I are working on a letter in the future for them to sign,
Okay,
but I wanted it in the minutes.
okay,
Of that statement being made.
okay, but we've already voted.
Yes, sir, that's just,
Motion and second, would that change your second? Mr. Fred?
These two. okay.
No. Okay,
I think it's more of a statement of the fact you want to.
Okay.
yes, sir, that's exactly
Okay.
what it is.
I didn't know if that changed anybody's mind. There you go. Item number 12, discuss and consider language line, language access contract for dispatch. You have the contract before you. Is there someone? Melanie, you may address the court.
Yes, sir. We've always used the language line, but before it's been provided through EdCog. Over the years, there's been, and it's not just our dispatch, it's everywhere, there's been some misappropriation of the language line where they're using it to, pull the reports, they're calling the language line, having them translate. So now EdCog is making us responsible for the contract. And it's a pay-as-you-go contract, we just pay whenever we use it. And the actual 911 calls that we use the language line for and that sort of thing, EdCog will reimburse us on those. But everybody's having to do it individually now instead of EdCog doing it with the blanket.
Okay. Any questions? I think we all look the same. Got a deer head like, look.
I had that same look.
So the language line is used in dispatch.
Yes, sir. For people that call in that don't speak, the English language, or they speak it, but you can't really understand them. We can contact the language line and they can translate for our dispatchers so that we can get the assistance to them.
And we've already been doing that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. They're just gonna start charging for that now.
Now, instead of it being billed directly to EdCog and them paying it, it gets billed to us, we pay it, and then EdCog reimburses the calls that are eligible.
And they determine what's eligible.
We have to provide them with documentation of the 911 calls and that sort of thing for the specific call that they called in on, and they'll do the reimbursement to us.
Is it something that's available for the deputies in the field to use?
That's why EdCog has cut it out, because the deputies in the field were using it, and that's not a part of the EdCog program. So that's why they're making, because people were doing that. So that's why they're making each agency responsible for setting up their own contract with EdCog or with the language line now. You can still use it, we just won't get reimbursed by EdCog. But it's it's not a cheap service.
So if we contract with EdCog for this service, what about the courts?
This language line is specifically for the 911 calls. It has nothing to do with anything that the courts have done in the past,
Okay.
or this is just strictly for dispatch.
Because we use OCA. We have
But
a
it's Spanish speaking.
Spanish speaking.
Yeah,
But
this
we-
one I think has multiple,
It
maybe
does.
multiple languages.
It's just a number you call into and connect on the line where you speak with them.
Yeah, it's like it's like a conference call. They translate
So
for dispatch.
what is the cost?
For Spanish, it's 58 cents a minute.
See that.
All other spoken languages is 63, and medical or court skilled interpreters are 86 cents a minute.
We get reversed, for all that, we just turn it into EdCog and they pay us.
Whenever we get the bill for it, we have to go through the bill, look at it, see what the calls were, and then I'll have to get with Holly, the dispatch supervisor, and get her to pull the documentation for those calls to make sure that they're legitimate, you know, calls to be able to send to EdCog, and once we do that, then reimburse us for the cost of the call.
I don't know, I can't see what would be not legitimate. I mean, if somebody calls in, needs help, I mean,
There's been instances where the reason EdCog stopped doing it through them is because there'd be an instance where, let's say, a deputy's sitting here speaking to somebody, they don't speak English, so they speak Spanish, and there's not anybody in the office that speaks Spanish, so they'll go in and use the language line to take their report. That's not something that EdCog, that's approved through EdCog to be done at the language line. This is for the 911 calls that. come
But
in.
it needs to be done. You need to be able to fill out that report.
I agree. But that's a separate entity than what this is for.
Right, because there's a language line in booking back there. I mean, they always had a language line. So, because let's say the deputy's out there and he arrests the individual.
Mhm.
And he comes to jail, you're booking him in, you have the same issue at book-in
Right.
that you had in the field. Do we still have access to that language line?
That I don't know. I just know specifically about this one for the 911 calls.
So have you done a projection of, okay, looked at the last month and said, okay, we believe these would have been covered, and at these rates, our cost would be X amount of dollars?
No,
Because, I mean, what cost do we anticipate?
I have no idea. I mean, it's gonna be one of those things that'll vary.
Hey,
You know, you may have one call this month and you may have 10 calls next month, you know, you just.
yeah. But the thing is, if it comes through dispatch, we shouldn't have to pay anything.
And we didn't in the past,
Yeah,
but now that EdCog has
well.
cut off that funding, then.
Yeah, that's right, we're not gonna lose it, it's gonna be reimbursed if it comes through dispatch, I mean, because. Now, if it's an officer sitting out there, wanting to use a language, line, then that won't be reimbursed.
Correct.
So, but if it comes through dispatch, we can expect it to be reimbursed.
Yes, sir.
This will come out of your contract services line item.
Okay. Any other questions? Discussion? Always want to give the auditor an opportunity to speak. Lucille, you have any thoughts? From EdCog into the revenue. Okay. And then that'll be, we haven't been getting that report. Have we been getting the report over here on, there hadn't been any cost?
No, there hasn't.
Hadn't been any
EdCog
cost,
is just
so-
now,
But now we'll have to have a report over here of which ones were allowed, which ones wasn't.
right,
Is that correct?
whenever they send, and I have no idea what the bills actually look like. I don't know if it's gonna come in like a regular phone bill that shows, you know, on this date, this phone number and this many minutes. But we'll have to go through and match up the calls to the 911 or the back line to verify and provide that information to EdCog. But we can provide a copy of it with the reimbursement check that comes back to us, or we can put it, I mean, obviously we'll have to put a copy of it with the actual bill itself when they send it over for payment, but I'm not sure how long it'll take Polly to go through, you know, like I said, there might be one call or there might be 30 calls. So I just want to make sure the bill gets paid on time. So if it comes in, I don't want her sitting over here for, you know, a week or 2 weeks trying to go through all of the 911 calls. It may be something we have to implement in dispatch, where if the dispatcher has to use the language line for a 911 call or a backline call, that they document it that way. Holly can go ahead and pull all of that documentation and have it ready for when the bill comes
That
in.
would be helpful. That'd be very helpful. If they're going to do it, then document it as you use it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any other questions, discussion?
So if I understand right, this contract is just for your 911 calls right now.
Yes, sir.
We're really
It's
not,
just for the language line that comes through dispatch.
we're not authorizing a bunch of it out in the field right now. I
No,
understand.
no,
Okay. And will that be related to down to the officers? That, hey, this line here is for 911.
we can make sure that dispatch is aware because they'll have to contact through dispatch. So we'll make sure that they're aware that this is only for their 911 calls. It's not for the deputies to use for translation.
Because I mean, being honest, my fear is, okay, we watch it for a month or two and then it gets like everything else. Okay, it's approved and we're not staying on it. Okay. Is there a motion?
So move, Pearson.
Got a motion to approve by Commissioner Pearson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner West. Any other questions or discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 13, discuss and consider ARPA interest funds for the air conditioning units for dispatch.
Yes, sir, I put this one on here.
Okay,
We tried twice to go through the RFP process on these HVAC systems. And with the ARPA funds, we have to go through all the federal hoops. Where our local AC people don't do a lot of federal work, so they're not set up with the sound registrations. And this isn't exactly a lucrative contract to make it worth their time to go through a ton of paperwork to make it happen. And as a result, even though we've tried twice, we can't get bids in that meet the qualifications, that meet the federal qualifications. If we use the interest money we've earned off ARPA, then we just use our procurement standards. And we don't have to have all those extra requirements in place. And I feel like it would be easy to get moving forward this project if we were using our procurement standards, because we worked with these AC people before. So what I'm asking the court to do today is approve using the interest that's been earned off the ARPA money to fund this HVAC project for the dispatch.
What are you talking about dollar wise? You know,
The stuff we've got in, it's gonna be under $20,000,
under 20?
under 20. And I'm being generous with 20 just so I don't overshoot my little word.
okay, what company, you said we've used this company?
Well, we've got 3 different companies that's bid and we've used them in different places in the county before.
All three of
I
them?
haven't assessed the bids and picked one because I didn't know if y'all want to approve it yet. Once you approve them, we'll collect our bids and Barry will score them as he does everything else. The 3 companies that have showed interest so far.
So the 3 companies you're looking at right now, they can't pass the inspections of the.
It's not a matter that they can't, it's a lot of paperwork to get that sound registration, and none of them have got it in place. And the feedback we're getting, we call and go, how come you haven't submitted? Well, it's a lot to try to get done, and there's not really interested in going through that much trouble for this little bit of a contract.
I do contact work. It is that the interest in the ARPA grant, which today was through $135,000. That money is being and we follow the county. $135,000 is in the ARP fund. It is also separate, so I'm keeping a Excel worksheet in my office to separate expenditures. That expenditure would not be reported on the report of expenditure. But on the
Well, my concern on this ARPA funds, we've got to start handling this stuff out of our pocket and not relying. Me personally, I think we're way overspending this ARPA. I don't think we're gonna have enough money to do what we've already said we're gonna do. And now we're going into the interest fund. I believe we're building a trap for the county, and it's all gonna fall in on top of it. That's my caution right there. I know this is not a whole lot of money, Mr. Platt, but we've got to put a cap on this spending on, because we hadn't got everything paid for that we pledged to so far. On these radios have gone from $3 million to over $5 million. We just we've got to be careful here, gentlemen.
And we actually go and tag all of the Siri equipment. And when we were there, that room for all of that equipment, which we paid over $500,000, we did with Siri. The Siri grant did. That room is very hot, very, very hot. If that equipment gets hot, Scott will tell you it's gonna go out. Or we have to, it's sometimes like, and what Brett was telling us, it takes 30 to 60 days to improve through the same registration. And I don't think we have 30 to 60 days
30, 60 days for what?
to be approved through the same registration. If taking it on, once you're trying to take.
Sound registration is a federal requirement, and where it be, in order for us to award it off the opera funds, they have to participate in the sound process. And it takes, even if they do turn all the paperwork in, we're looking 60 days at best for them to get approved. And the problem I'm getting is they're not really interested in submitting all the paperwork, let alone the time frame they did.
Don't think I'm saying we don't need it. I'm saying we've got to learn to start handling our finances without depending on ARPA. That's what I'm saying. That's my concern.
The only thing we like is getting proposal from the towers. And if you want to see what we have numbered and what we have to spend, I have that. I'll be glad to provide.
Right.
Because I know. But you know, I don't know how much power.
That's one of my concerns.
Yeah.
It's one of my concerns.
And that's the real key. We got some conversations coming up on that next month. There's a lot of research and stuff been done with Trot to be presented to y'all before we even go out for RFP on that. As far as the radios, that's in the contract where those numbers are there. And you're right, we're on the line of meeting our spending threshold, which is what we set out to do, was to spend the money on the projects we named.
Yeah, but we're not the project.
Yeah.
That's my problem. We got to start thinking about financing roads one of these days. So that's our number one complaint from citizens of Van Zandt County is the road. Number one, I assure you.
Well, to get back on track, if y'all want to fund it from this interest, or you want to find another source of funding, either way, we've got to get the HC. And that's why I've come in here not with proposal to purpose, but with permission to fund it from another source.
If we go through the federal process, how come it would be too late?
Well, what we're doing out there right now, we took the AC system that cools the lobby and the offices, we put the thermostat in dispatch, we opened the electrical room door. And that system was running wide open, trying to keep dispatch cool, and it's just freezing cold everywhere else in the building. We're heading into winter, we're fixing to wind up with freezing pipes and all other kind of issues. And we done had that AC go down once on us on a warm day, trying to keep up. So we need to try to get something in place to put in, not to mention the people that are sending us the quotes aren't signed up with Sounds, and I've done said they're not interested in pursuing that.
Even the people that through the county, they don't want to, the proposals written.
The quoter is not that big a job. It's not looking up for them to, they can do this job anywhere. So to sit down and spend hours on end digging up records and information and putting it into Sound for this one job isn't beneficial to them.
Susan?
I was just gonna piggyback kind of off of what Chad just said. We go over there for the jail docket, so I send my staff over there. And we are freezing in that room. I'm talking about they have jackets on, they had to recess and go outside to thaw out one day because it was so cold in the room where we're at.
And we originally planned to have the AC in, but the first RFPs, no one was sent me even apply back because they didn't want to do the same. So we called back and talked to them and resubmitted and got them to try. And then they come back, not one, this is the second time we've tried RFP process through ARPA, and they're just not interested in it with the requirements.
Donna, I apologize if I threw a monkey wrench in things. Because we'd already approved it through ARPA. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we've got to watch our spending. I make a motion, we pay it out of the fund, out of the interest fund.
Of the ARPA money?
Yes, sir.
And that's a motion.
It's a motion.
Okay,
I'll second.
okay, got a motion. Got a second. Any other questions, discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 14, discuss and consider board appointments for Van Zandt County Historical Commission. Mr. West, you want to address that, or Elvis? Is Elvis here?
Elvis here.
Where is
Go
it?
Well, I'll read out the names that we're proposing at this point. Elvis as the chairman, Cindy Cooper as the vice chairman, Sherry Archer secretary, myself as treasurer, and general members Suzanne Bass, Ronnie Chitty, Linda Davis, Larry Greer, Lona Hobbs, Sandra Jones, Brenda Kellum, Linda Mays, Benji Mize, Cassie Sanders, Jane Hunter, Karen Asher, and Luann Everett. And that's my motion.
Okay.
Second by Pearson.
That's a motion by Commissioner West for your 2023 Van Zandt County Historical Commission nominees. Got a motion by Commissioner West, second by Commissioner Pearson. Any questions or discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 15, discuss and consider letter of verification regarding Van Zandt County Regional Hospital. Received a letter or request from them. And you see the letter before you. This letter will serve as verification at Van Zandt County Regional Hospital located at 707 North Waldrop Street. Grants Lean, Texas is a provider of basic and advanced medical care and life support on an ongoing basis for persons residing in the communities within Van Zandt County and in the surrounding counties. It's just a letter of support, is my understanding. I think you visited them, Chad.
Yes, sir. I went by this, they are up and running for the function, and what they're trying to do here is get an LCC license for VHF frequency, which is known for EMS to use radio in to hospitals if they're en route and get a patient report what they're coming with. And they're just going through the steps to get licensed on that radio frequency, and they need this letter of support from us and one from the State Department of Health, which you'll see the State Department of Health letters in your folder. And this will allow them to get that radio frequency.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the letter.
Okay, got a motion by Commissioner LaPrade, second by Commissioner Melton. Any questions or discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 16, discuss and consider temporary withholding of Van Zandt County funds to the Ben Wheeler Fire Department. I know we have an attorney here that's wanting to speak or represent.
Mr. Hobbs, address the court judge.
You may.
First, I want to thank y'all for letting me come over here and speak today. I know there's been a lot of confusion kind of about what's going on with the Ben Wheeler Fire Department. So it was about 3 weeks ago, we had a meeting, we voted to sue for declaratory judgment against 10 members so everybody can figure out who the board is and who gets the money and all that kind of stuff. Those 10 members after the meeting have since resigned. I've been in communication with them. I've got Mr. Cooler here with me today, who's been in communication with them. The department is now up and running. They're into the banks have recognized them. They're all in their bank accounts. Correct, Mr. Cooley?
Okay, you may stand with him if you want to. They may have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
So make room for both of them. But yeah, they are up and running now. They've responded to calls. we've got a roster of all the members that are now on the board currently. If y'all want a copy of that, we've got copies for you. So there's currently 13 firefighters, there's 18 members, and there's 6 members left on the board, and there's 3 applicants to be firefighters. We're happy to answer any questions you guys have or concerns that have come up because of this ordeal, and but any questions y'all have, we're happy to answer and discuss.
I have one. I know that there was a lot of talk, period, but there was a lot of talk concerning possible missing money or misappropriated money. And I was told that they were going to be looking for an outside auditor to come in and audit the books. Is that happening?
Go ahead, Mr. Chris.
We have not yet, but yes, sir, that is in the plans. We're trying to get through the holiday season and then we're going to go with an audit and April inventory of
Okay. Because it was really, depending on who you were talking to, what side, you got every kind of answer in the world.
Yeah.
And so, okay. Good.
Who appoints the board members?
The membership.
Well, how is it formed?
Well, basically, we just come around, and what we are trying to do at this point is we're trying to bring outside entities, business-minded people to come join our board. It originally, when I joined the department nearly 2 years ago, the board was already in existence. I came in as a board member myself. After that, we had a few board members leave. I stepped up as president of the board. Since all this has happened and we've had people resign due to my training and whatnot, the board has asked me to step up as assistant chief, the interim assistant chief for the time being. We have had other members come in as a board around Ben Wheeler, other community members that is coming in to join the board, so we can build up the board on more of a business standpoint rather than a department membership standpoint.
So the board is over the firemen.
The board is responsible for the assets, the property, and the facilities and everything. Yes, sir.
And the firemen appoint the board.
Yes. The membership, yes, sir.
How many firemen do you have now?
Currently, there's 13 firemen that are functioning and responding to calls as of today.
What's the difference between the firemen and membership? Of that, I know you're using that term.
So most of the members are firemen, some are members who are just in support, who show up to meetings and all that stuff, but they don't actually physically go out and fight fire. And we're looking at that if he
So the firemen actually appoint the board member.
The whole membership.
The membership,
It
that's
doesn't
what-
matter if they're a support member. Once you're voted in, everything to the department, you have a vote. And once you have that vote, whenever it comes time for another board member to come in, it does go to vote within the board, and then it goes to the membership for the final vote.
And we can get everybody a copy of the bylaws that lay all this out if need be, if that's something that you all would like, we can certainly make sure that happens.
Are y'all currently responding to calls?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
I'm getting a lot of feedback from your neighbors that they're responding to your calls.
Not that I'm aware of. There was a week or two that dispatch was unaware. Somebody allegedly called dispatch and told them that there was no members on the Ben Wheeler Fire Department and we were not responding to calls. Since then, we were actually at the station trying to get ready for our inventory. We overheard a call come in our district and we radioed in dispatch and informed them, hey, we are here. And Bob Keltner, I believe, contacted dispatch and spoke with them. And informed them that, yes, we are active and we are here to run calls.
Do you have a chief of the fire department?
Yes, sir. Glenn McDonald stepped back in to be our chief.
And you was appointed interim vice
Yes, sir. Assistant chief.
assistant.
Yes, sir.
Who is the chief?
Glenn McDonald.
He'd been chief before.
He was the assistant chief before and was, for lack of words, he was ran off about 4 months ago by previous parties that have resigned from the department. And we had asked him to come back due to his knowledge. He was in the department for 6 years, has extensive knowledge of the fire services. And we asked him to come back and step up as our leader. Chief.
Is there any pending lawsuits or anything legal? Like misappropriation of funds? Is there any? Are they under investigation or any pending litigation out there?
Currently, right now, the Bentonville Fire Department is not under. The LA law firm has not been consulted about any investigation. That's all I can speak to here today.
Yeah,
Just feel we have to
we
talk
will
about
be
the rest.
doing the audit, and if anything is found within the audit that needs to be addressed criminally and whatnot, it will be absolutely addressed. Other than that, there's nothing pending at the moment.
Has an attorney called you, representing the fireman that was resigned?
No, sir.
Which set of bylaws are you using? I know it changed recently. They drew up new bylaws and
Yes, so
passed them and.
So in November, I think it was November 10th when the 10 members voted some of the board members off and adopted bylaws. We're not using those bylaws. We're using the bylaws that were in effect before that date.
Okay.
If that makes
So,
sense.
so you're asking the commissioner court, because we froze the account, we froze, we stopped putting money, we send $600, I believe, a month to the volunteer fire departments. And we stopped it because of all the, whatever you want to call it. And you're asking us to start putting the $600 back in there when we don't know if there was misappropriation of funds. There's going to be an audit that will determine that later.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
And so you're asking us to reinstate into something we're not real sure of right now.
Yes, sir. And the people that we were concerned about misappropriation of funds are members that have resigned from the department. And
If
like I
the
said,
board oversees the funds, how do the members misappropriate it?
well, and that's where it gets fishy. Okay, see, a while back, several members were ran off from the department. Myself, being president of the board, and we lost our treasurer at that point. The best treasurer I guarantee the department's ever had. Everything was to the point. At that point, there were not many options for anyone who qualified to be a treasurer. My wife is qualified, we do own a business. She stepped up to be the treasurer. In order to keep myself and my wife off the board, we decided to separate the treasurer and the secretary from the board of directors and move them towards the command staff. At this time is when the command staff decided they had full range of the money without consulting the board before spending money. And that's what brought in this whole thing. We wanted to investigate or look into, I'm sorry, investigate is probably not the best word, but we wanted to look into the fact that the chief and assistant chief at the time were spending money without consulting the board. They were paying a member in the department to work on the trucks. The board was unaware of this until it was brought up, and that's why we wanted to look into that. We wanted to know, are there competitive bids? What has been done? Is it necessarily to be done? Is it a priority? And that's what really stirred up this whole thing, is us saying, hey, we want some answers. And that's where it went from there. As soon as we did that, we did put an emergency declaration to suspend the people that we were going to be investigating into. At that point is when, for better lack of words, probably they went rogue, basically, and they tried to kick out the board of directors. They dissolved the board. They removed us from the department. Changed the laws, took us off the active 911 emergency services, so we weren't even able to respond to calls at that point. Once we got the law firm involved, that's when they retreated and all resigned.
But apparently the bank recognized the chief as the treasurer, because the bank called the chief and he went down and picked up the money that was in American National Bank or Austin
Austin Bank, yes,
Bank.
He was the only signer left on the account, yes, sir.
I hope you get it straightened out.
Yes, sir, absolutely, that's our goal.
Is the bank account still being,
But
Frozen?
no, sir, we have full access to the bank accounts at First State Bank.
There.
Yes, sir. And our loans are still active at Austin Bank. We have 2 loans there at Austin Bank.
okay,
Our goal is just to make sure things are done right by the book. And continue to provide the best
are the
service.
bills paid up currently?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Because I know that was one concern that, like your electric bill was 3 months late and they,
That was bad. To be honest, it was behind 1 month because during the change of the treasurer. Like I said, Gary Ross, the chief, was the only one that had access to the First State Bank and Ben Weaver at that point in time. Which the bills were being automatically withdrawn from that account that the previous treasurer set up. At that point, they were moving everything from First State Bank to Austin Bank. So the treasurer, she was unable to tell how much was in that account at First State Bank, because she had no access to it. She only had access to Austin Bank. And that's why it fell behind 1 month. We got a notification on it. We went to pay the bill. And on the bill, it listed, it was the October bill. And it also listed what was due on November. It was probably the first or second of November. That November bill was due the 12th, but it had both those months listed. And that's why they had the illusion that it was several months behind, but it was currently behind 1 month. Plus the current bill at stake.
Mr. Henry, you have anything?
I think the thing that I want to just make sure the court knows is any allegations or an investigation of misappropriations of fund that come from members those that have resigned. We've got the board back. We know who the board is. We're going to audit, make sure everything is above board. But in the meantime, we want to still be able to respond to call and help the community with the members of the board that is still there. So we're asking the court today to unfreeze the accounts for the Benway Volunteer Fire Department.
Okay.
Could you give us a date on when you think you can have an audit document?
Well, we need to find an auditor, and that is what we're in the current process of doing. We were hoping to have everything done by the first of the year. Unfortunately, the time being, I don't know that we would be able to do that, but it will definitely be one of our immediate steps.
Could you,
You got to cut
could you,
that.
could you give me a date? Have one by March the 1st, February the 1st?
Completed or just have one.
Have an audit report back to the court?
I would say the first week of January, so. We could have that taken care of, no problem. I mean, the week of Christmas and whatnot, it may be a little bit.
Yeah, but see, you hadn't even contacted an auditing firm, have you?
No, sir, we're trying to locate one. We're trying to find one that's not related anywhere near within the fire.
That's, I mean, so you could probably assure us that you'd have an audit by March the 1st?
Yes, we could.
Absolutely.
I'll make a motion to reinstate.
Okay, you got a motion to reinstate until March the 1st, until you.
Yes, sir, until,
So complete audit.
Yes, sir. and pending,
But
we'll reinstate now.
Subject to the audit.
And then it's subject to getting that back to us.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's your
Yes,
motion.
sir.
Is there a second?
I'll make that second. And one thing though, I think in that we need to do, we withheld last month's $600. We didn't deposit it. And so we need to make that retroactive to cover the one.
Yeah, I would think reinstate would make a past payments.
Okay.
That's what I intended.
Okay,
How much, well, how much assets you have on hand now? What's your,
I couldn't tell you the exact number off the top of my head, but it was somewhere around 42,000, I do believe.
well, if you got 42,000, you should be able to keep your head above water till March 1st when you bring us the audit.
Yes, sir. Of course, the money that comes in from the county and we get a donation from the water department every month. Those are our only guaranteed income. Everything else we do is fully based on fundraising. We did just take out the loan for we bought an Ampus battery operated jaws alive that we have a loan on, and there's the brush truck that we just purchased, we have a loan on also. Which are our highest bill that we have at the current time.
Yes, sir. It sounds like you've got enough money. You could hold your own till March and, it comes like a good audit. We could catch you all the way back up. At the time. And then you still have your fund and you can put it back where it needs to go. But it don't sound like it's gonna hurt you if you don't have it in the immediate present.
We wouldn't drown, no, sir.
Cause you're kind of, I guess, under investigation through an auditor to see what's happened to the money, if it's been a misappropriation,
If anything.
if
yeah.
anything, right now. So I don't know why we should really approve this until we see what's happened.
Okay.
That's just,
Where I'm at.
and
And I'm all about helping fire department.
Yes, sir.
I don't think we're.
but if you're not, you got plenty of money to hang on to. I don't think that, the county needs to invest anything right now because we don't know. And
Yeah, and I fully understand that, sir.
we will know when the auditor comes.
Yes, sir. And nobody that is a current member of the department, we don't have anything to hide. We're not afraid of the audit.
I'm not saying there's been any
Yes, sir.
misappropriation. I'm just saying that
We need to know.
we need to know.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, we have a motion to reinstate till March 1st, we get the report and retroactive. Got a second? Is that your second, Tim?
It was.
Any other questions or discussion? Being none, all in favor, say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, mine's gonna be no. No, till we get the report. When I cannot honestly vote to pay money when we don't know what.
I absolutely.
What, I mean, I can't. So. It failed. Get the audit. Bring it back as soon as you can. Nothing wrong with bringing the audit back in February,
Yeah, well, we'll get.
January, or February. If you get it, bring it back.
Start working on it and do that as soon as.
Bring that back because I think you're still gonna be functioning.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
And that's my concern is the citizens of Van Zandt County.
Yes, sir. In the group we have, we will function out of our own pockets. Yeah,
That,
absolutely. There's.
And we thank
we're gonna
you.
Turn our back on us.
thank you for your service.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
So motion failed. Motion second. Item failed. We'll move to item number 17, discuss and consider acceptance of John Robinson's letter resignation from ESD2 board.
Yes, gentlemen, I put this on here. John Rawson has been a long time member of the SD2 board, and he was wanting to not apply for another term. This last year, I got him to agree to come back on board to help the new president. And he's been there a year, he's helped the new president. Now he would like to go ahead and step down. So he submitted a letter of resignation, and I make a motion that we accept it.
Okay, that's a motion by Commissioner LaPrade. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Melton. Any questions or discussion? Being none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 18, discuss and consider board appointments for ESD1. That's Emergency Service District number 1. Got a couple. Is that yours?
Yes, Judge, this is in precinct 2, deep south Van Zandt County. It's composed of part of Maybank and Van Zandt County. And I have 2 qualified members here that want to be placed on the board. Andrea Gibb Pickett, she's been on the board for several years. She's done a good job, and the new person is Samuel Spencer. He is a state tax auditor, works for Texas Controller. He has basic understanding of the fire services and functions, and he wants to be placed on the board. So I'll make a recommendation that we place both these on the ESD #1 board.
Okay, do you make a motion?
I did.
Okay, that's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Got a second by Commissioner Pearson. Any questions or discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 19, discuss and consider board appointments for ESD 2. That's a emergency service district in Grant Saline.
Yes,
Over
sir.
there.
I have this one on here. You've seen before. Mr. Robinson has vacated, apparently there's 1 year left on it. Then we have 3 positions that are coming up for reappointment. These 3 people are not seeking reappointment, so I have 5 applications in your book at this time. Of the 5, there's 4 I'd like to recommend. So I'd make a motion that we appoint David Savage to fill the 1 year remaining term of John Robinson. And then I'd like to appoint Bobby Colosino, Steve Irwin, and Lance Mayhew to the 3 2-year positions.
Okay, so we had 5. We had Lance Mayhew, David Savage, Mackenzie Chandler, Stephen Irwin, and Robert Colosino. Is that correct?
Application, people that's turned. in
That
applications.
was all the application we received?
Oh, we had one on Chandler.
Yes, he just read him off.
No, I'm sorry. He's
Right.
what is it? Police officer?
But of those 5, that would be the.
So what is, to run that, what's your recommendation? Somebody's filling Robinson's 1 year.
David Savage will fill Robinson's 1 year. All right.
Okay,
And then I would like for Bobby Colosino, Steve Irwin, and Lance Mayhew to fill the 3 2-year terms.
is that a motion?
Yes.
Okay, got a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Pearson. Any questions or discussion? Will Mackenzie Chandler be in waiting, or is he?
I just want to make sure y'all seen all the applicants that was available and had the time to review it. This is a court appointed position, and they all have equal opportunity to review and select that applicants.
Okay. Any other question and discussion? Being none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 20, discuss and consider board appointments for ESD number 3. Is that your?
Well, that's, ESD 3 covers, I think, 3 precincts. Precinct 1, precinct 4, and my precinct. I think the biggest part's in precinct 2. But we have a member that sits on the board now that would like to be reappointed, Brian Cummings. I think everybody knows him. He's done a great job out there. And I'd like to appoint him. And Sue Ball. She's a present member. So we got 2 members that want to serve again, and they've done a great job. I'll make a motion that we appoint them.
Okay, that's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner LaPrade. Any questions or discussion? Being none, all in favor, say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 21, discuss and consider board appointments for ESD number 4.
Yes, so we have 2 members over there that their term is expiring. Ray Thomaston, Teresa Bird, they both reapplied. I make a motion, we accept both.
Okay. That's a motion. Is there a second by Commissioner West?
He's current, he's on the right.
They're both of them just.
Both of them.
Okay, got a motion by Commissioner Pearson, second by Commissioner West. Any questions or discussion? Being none, all in favor, say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 22, Discuss and consider approval of fiscal year 2023 budget amendments. You have the budget amendments before you.
So moved.
Got a motion by Commissioner West,
Second, Pearson.
second by Commissioner Pearson. Any questions or discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 23, discuss and consider approval of November 2022 financial and investment report of county treasurer to be entered into minutes as of Commissioners Court.
So moved, Pearson.
Got a motion by Commissioner Pearson,
Second.
second by Commissioner West. Any questions or discussion for Kenny? Being none, all in favor say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 24, discuss and consider monthly reports submitted by various offices and departments of county government and approval of entry of same in the court's minutes as matter of record. Be the last time I asked you, Mr. West, you have any comment?
No.
Be the last time Wes will have any comment.
That's pretty bad. I may have to talk for a while. No, we got all the reports in but one.
Okay.
And I was hoping to get it, but we didn't. So
Any questions, Mr. Pearson?
Yes, sir. I'd like to know who we didn't get it from, please, sir?
AgriLife,
Oh,
which I can understand.
Yeah.
and there is one other comment. I was just hoping Mr. Barton is paying attention to part of the stuff he's gonna be responsible for.
Don't let them sucker you into it.
Yeah. This will be the last day he sits in here relaxed for a while.
Same time.
Yeah, but. Okay, do we have a motion second?
Uh,
I think we vote. Oh.
No.
We have a motion.
We have a motion and then we comment.
That's okay.
Okay.
And Keith second. Commissioner Pearson second. Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Mr. West, would you like to make a motion?
We're gonna vote it down, but go ahead.
Just throw it to a tie. Yeah.
You're looking for the motion to adjourn?
Yep, for our last. and final
Absolutely.
time. Okay, got a motion by Commissioner West. I would second it. What an
Good.
honor and privilege it has been. So we have a motion and second. Any questions, discussion? Being none, all in favor say aye. All opposed?
Somebody better order lunch.
Yeah, looks like we're hung. Now we're gonna have to do roll call. Yours was to adjourn, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
I'll second.
Okay. I got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Hold you hostage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Judge,
We are adjourned.
You're right.
We are adjourned.
You should have known that a long time ago. Yeah.
Ted, are we doing a workshop today? You gotta make it out.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll see you.
Yeah, I'll be there.
No.
Thank you, David. Thank you, sir. Merry Christmas to you. You bet.
We're not having.
You have a small beach.
No, it's not.
Oh, I think it stopped right here somewhere.
Good.
I think I've got it.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Enjoyed working with you.
Me too. Enjoy working with you.
Thank you, Miss Barber. Thank you, sir.
It's a pleasure.
I'm
I
very-
didn't put you to work with the idiots. Merry Christmas.
How about, oh, you know, this is perfect time.
Yeah.
But, nah, it's close. Then you need to take over this, what we gotta do. and-
Maybe.
Yeah, but that's not, that's a.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it went here. It's here somewhere.
Let me look back here.
We need that.
I know it's here.
I made it over
Yeah.
here. Let's hear from you.
It's here in this.
Bonnie, I missed you talking today.
Our lunch for everybody that's here.
I know where you're going and it's pretty cheap.
Wednesday?
Huh? This is Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. We're going for Taco Tuesday today.
Taco Tuesday?
There
Okay,
could
it's not
be
there.
out there.
Let's see. I think I was there yesterday. And I did
It never made it to me.
I don't think I ever handed it
And
to you.
I'm not
Thank
saying
you for the
that,
kind words you said today. Thank you, thank you, and I appreciate your dad.
But the-
Appreciate your dad. I didn't know he helped build the building.
Jerry.
Well, thank you, thank you.
I think we're at, oh, what's Dairy Queen? They're not $1, they're $1.29.
Oh, okay. Well, bless you. Y'all been, you've been an inspiration. to
Uh-oh,
us.
that's here.
Yeah, a lot of it, I wished I just wish, yeah, I learned a lot. I wished I hadn't learned.
Everybody goes out there and. What? I didn't know that.
If they ask for it, they will give them prints.
Oh, Tim.
Boy, we've been
You got
screwed
a
up.
week. Got 1 week.
Yeah, get one free taco.
You can go out there. I think that's what you do. So
Yeah.
whatever day you get, it's on a whole bunch.
Or for the courthouse, give me 100 dozen.
What is
of taco.
Yeah, it's just one signature. I think I've got now.
It only takes one to
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Signature for all of it.
My wife would love that. And I like it. Oh, okay. Well, let's-
You said you right.
Virgil,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think he did. I think it's in this book here.
We can just sign that other one.
Well, I'm close to the back now.
That's where it's gonna be, because that's where. the-
Yeah, that's where it was open. Gonna be. I lost that signature page on the investment report.
Is looking for mine.
Oh, no,
Well, we got you one. We got you one. That's-
they're all empty.
He's looking for it. Have a good one.
You too, Ronnie. And we're back here.
We're gonna close.
No. They, it come in here somewhere where we was right in here.
I saw it.
Well, that's probably it, right?
No, that's fine.
No, yeah,
We can use that.
it's gotta be here. You know, it wasn't here because it was
I
loose.
saw
It's
Virgil
very, yeah.
running off with something. I don't know.
He says he didn't have it.
What's all this stuff in the front of us?
Well, he's only looked at it once.
Yeah, I've done been through that.
You better get going again because it doesn't look like.
Yeah, I don't know.
I looked
We'll
at
just have to do
it.
another one, Kenny.
Well,
I know it did show,
Well, let's just sign it right there.
just use this.
mine.
It got holes in it.
That's okay.
You know, Keith, we never can tell. Once we send something down there, it just kind of.
No, it come here and I'm thinking, I slid it up. But I can't.
Let me see your book, sir.
Too late, we don't sign that one.
Oh, y'all did? Okay.
I got another one.
Just sign that. Let us go with it.
We won't let you walk away.
Yeah, I think it'll take you guys lunch. I'll take it to the road.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Long time coming, hadn't it?
Boy,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
getting forever for it.
I told you it's gonna be hard for you.
Yeah, I appreciate all that.
Appreciate you, Jim.
Do you have purchase?
Okay.
Take the whole thing.
Nah, they could let go of trash.
No, yeah, that's yours.
Do you think?
Yeah,
Short.
that's yours.
That my chair?
That's 20 years.
A lot of it's for you, it's great.
Don't forget to take that, Don.
Oh,
Take your name with you.
Yeah.
In case you forget it.
I sure don't want it around here reminding me.
that would be one of the problems.
Oh, we got a meeting tomorrow, that'll leave this.
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, we know who you are tomorrow.
I may not.
We'll tell you. We'll tell you who you are.